with Mama? Mama loves the boy. Mama loves the boy. You're a handsome old man. Mama loves a handsome old man. Thought I would tell you guys about my start telling you about my stepping escapades on the regular. On the irregular, because they have the flyers and they have, you can get advance tickets from some individual in their clique club, whoever's throwing it, and save, I don't know, $5–10 for your cover. But I'd rather pay the extra money than have a conversation with them. So I went in, I paid the people, and I went in. And I found a seat. I can enjoy the dance floor because that's what I came for, the music and the dance floor. So found my seat and got all settled in. So for a really long time I didn't get a dance, which was cool because the people who approach me like a gentleman know how to do that, and they will find me. So I don't usually have that to worry about. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying the dance floor. So there was this one guy, he was an older guy, and you know, missing a couple of teeth, whatever. Had on some red shoes. I was going to give the red suits a pass, you know, because it's around Valentine's Day. But, you know, it was Valentine's Day, and that was their color. They like to have color themes, which I have always gone against the grain. If I know what the color theme is for the night, what color everybody's wearing, or the clique who's throwing the party, what they're wearing, I'll wear a completely different color. I'm a rebel. So this older dude rolled up on me, you know, but I saw him on the dance floor before, so I know that he was there to dance and he was enjoying just the dancing. You know, he wasn't looking for anything. So eventually he makes his way to me. I saw him walk by me like 4 times. But, you know, I have what appears to be blinders, but I know everything that's going on around me, believe that. So I saw him walk by about 4 times. So eventually he gets to me and he approaches me and he asks me to dance. Contrary to common belief, I will dance with almost any guy who approaches me like a gentleman and asks me to dance. It's just that 90+% do not do that. They don't simply do that. So anyway, he asked me to dance. I said sure. So we went on the dance floor and we danced, and to be honest with you, I thought he couldn't dance when I watched him dance earlier. I saw him enjoying it, but it wasn't that he could, quote unquote, step. But I didn't care. Like, people think I only dance with people that can step, but that's not the case. I only dance with people that approach me like a gentleman. It's just that steppers are not typically gentlemen. So we went out and we danced, and he was actually a decent dancer, you know. It just, when you watch him visually, it looks, he's an offbeat kind of individual. And when I say offbeat, I don't mean like to the beat of the music. I mean he's offbeat. Like, he's kind of goofy. So we danced and I enjoyed it. And so you know, I grabbed his hand at the end of the song, and I told him, you know, I nodded like a lady would do a gentleman, let him know I appreciate it. And I started to leave to get on the dance floor, and he would not let go of my arm. He was going to escort me back to my table and to my seat. That's old school, y'all. That's old school. Oh, I appreciated it. So he held on to me. He said, you know, he want to make sure I get back to my chair. So he took me back to my table, and I said thank you. Sat me down, left me alone. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. So yeah. Now in the meantime, there was this other guy that also walked by me several times first, and he was actually a handsome guy, and he was dressed unlike most steppers dress. The guys dressed like what they think pimps should dress like, and the females dress like the type of hoes that would entertain guys that dress like that. So and they're all old, really too old to be playing these games, these pimp and hoe games. Much too old. God forbid they reproduced and raised some children that all confused about what's productive in their life. But anywho, so yeah, this other guy was very handsome, and he was dressed like a handsome gentleman, and he said, "I can't believe you're out here alone." And I said, and I just looked at him, because I get that a lot. Yeah, so like from my perspective, when someone says that, "I can't believe you're here tonight, I can't believe you're here alone," that lets me know that it's difficult for you to believe that either that I have the security to be out alone, or the people that surround you in your life are not loving and trusting to the point where you could go out alone. I mean, I get the point. He's saying, you know, I would imagine that you would be with somebody, and that's supposed to be a compliment. But it more than anything, sometimes the things that people say in regard to me tells me about the character within them. You know, it lets me know who they are. It reveals them to me. So anyway, he didn't mean any harm, and I understood that. But instantly, I'm like, okay. So I just looked at him, because you're just telling. What am I supposed to say? You're telling me you can't believe I'm out by myself. What am I supposed to say to that? Am I obligated to thank you because that's a compliment? But that's just some information about you that you volunteered to me. So anyway, I did what I do when people say that. I just looked at him and I smiled, because I thought, you know, my thoughts are always that figures, that you can't believe I'm out alone. It figure is typical. So anyway, he left, and not for long. I could tell he would be back eventually. So eventually he came back and said, he says, I'm seeing you over here by yourself, and I can't believe that these guys are just leaving you alone, you know, like this, you know, just letting you sit here by yourself. And I said, I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. And of course he didn't quite know what to say about that. And I know his point was, these guys must be crazy for not, you know, approaching you or whatever. I'm good with it. So he leaves again. So eventually he comes back about the third time, and he says, "Do you mind if I entertain?" He was a gentleman every single time. To be fair, I'll keep that in mind, that this is a person that is addressing me as a gentleman, regardless of what my perspective is of insight on who he is. So he says, "Do you mind if I entertain you?" And I interpreted that as asking me to dance, and I said sure. So he proceeds to pull up the chair next to me. Okay, that's not gonna work. So I stopped that chair, boy. I put the brakes on that chair that he was pulling it, and I just grabbed it. Oh no. I said I apologize. I mistook that to mean that you were asking me to dance. And so he said, "Well, would you like to dance?" And I said sure. So we went and danced, and I enjoyed. He's a good dancer. And in fact, apparently when he's dancing with someone he enjoys, you can feel the passion in his dancing. I really enjoy passionate dancing, because I dance passionately, because I feel the music so much. So, sorry, I got on a sports bra got out of the shower from working out, but whatever. So, yeah, so we danced, and I enjoyed it, and, you know, he's a short guy, and But you could tell, you know how you could tell when a little dude know what to do with all of this? He a little dude, but he know what to do with all of this. But he's proportionate. After we danced, I went back to my chair and I told him thank you. And I always say thank you in a really absolute manner to let the person know that thank you, like that was it. You know, we're not going to continue to have a conversation after the dance. So he left for a little while. He's an old dude. So Red Shoes came back. And he asked me to dance again, and I danced with Red Shoes and enjoyed it. And he, after the dance, thank you very much, he was not going to let me go until he got me to my table and to my chair, and I'm seated and safe. Thank you. So I let him know I appreciate that. I was like, thank you so much, you know. And that's the type of person I will, like, always be conscious to say yes to when they ask me to dance, even for future reference. Yeah, so yeah, I would dance with dude in the future, Red Shoes or not. So I danced with him again. So then here comes the other guy. So T.I. comes back over, and I'm telling you, this fella is persistent. So he leans down and he says a few things to me that I'm not really listening to, because I'm not going to have a conversation with this person, right? I'm here for the music and the dance. I'm not going to have, and when I'm not dancing, that does not mean that I would rather be having a conversation. That means that I'm just now enjoying watching other people dance. In the meantime, like I said, people are coming in and leaving, and my table is not far from the entrance. So, disturbingly, I get a full-fledged view of all these bitch-ass dudes walking in here in these fur coats, thinking they pimping, right?